Understanding like peaks and mastering not only the stair peaks that I talked about where you can have like the actual crazy advantage, but also just in general peaks, right? Like Brian peak is deadly. Yeah. Like the top players, bro, like, if you're like good with a peak, like these window edits are deadly. Like you literally can't get seen. Like you can pump and cannot be seen. It's insane. Hop in a call, get on the grind. Let's go.
Yo.
It's good. So I saw on the Gamer Sensei you put a VOD review link, a 17-minute video. You want to watch that first?
Yeah, we can go through that. That's like I said before, my main problem is like I feel very developed like mechanically, but I have a huge problem with just applying those mechanics to game and even more like playing more aggressive or proactively. At the start, I did some free building, and then after that, there's a box fight. I went up against Sordell, and I put like 5 of the matches in there. And then after that, there's like 5 ranked games.
Okay, bet. Let's do it. This is perfect.
But I'm not really looking for like critiques on this. I'm just like showing you that
You got the
I
max.
have. Yeah, messed up a little bit there, but there's one take.
You definitely got a better free build than me. Can't lie. These are all good to do. Like that's that like double side jump right there, like where you kind of go out and up.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. And like landing on a 90 is huge.
I ended up winning here 8-10, but I wanted to include the matches where like I made mistakes, so they're not all on here. And I cut it up a little bit.
Yep. I mean, that entire round, by the way, like I mean, maybe that was an obvious thing, but the entire round you made the same 3 peaks to get hit. Like the first damage you took, like you were like this, right? Like you're hard over peeking, which is like a clear one. Like obviously you're gonna get hit here if he peeks this, but it's more so like to be quick. Like also you can spray this from a different angle. Like you understand that? Like
Like back up a little bit.
yeah. Like let me launch my game real quick so I can like quickly show these things. You've played peak training before, right?
Not particularly. I understand why that peak is bad though.
And then here's like the same over peak from before, right? Where you're like weirdly on the wall. Like you can reset that, like this, like all that frame right there, like that I just paused through is all reset time. Like you have time, even here, like time. But what I mean is like if you're box fighting somebody, okay, and you're like this, and you're trying to grab the wall, you can grab it from here, and like they can't even see you. Like from here, they can't see you. Like you can jump it from here. Like all these angles are like really nifty to hit like your wall, like while it's weak, and then you can go up like here and grab it, right? Like you can go from a nice safe peek and grab it. You can grab it from all the way to the front. So you don't need a wide peek like this. But what I'm meaning to tell you is like in that last clip at least is like you're here. If like even if you are here, you're spraying. Like let's say like you're being really aggressive. Like you want to grab this wall, you're spraying. It needs to be like a next muscle memory is like boom. Like if you like you could even just get in the habit of just like spraying and resetting like quick, like a little. I know it's very simple, but like just a quick flick to the wall, hold your wall. And then of course like get your cone and back up and do your thing. But the quick flick of editing is super key, like constantly. Like same with like if you're like box fighting somebody here and he's in this box and you want to bait the wall, like it's like this, right? Like you got to be quick. If you're like a little slow, right? He's gonna get the wall, he's gonna get in, or he's gonna damage you or whatever. So like it's like edit, reset, like hold, right? You get this like when you try to box somebody in. Like if you're slightly too slow, he's gonna pump you. Like it's good to do these big edits like this and reset because like that means he's guaranteed to like take a shot, right? Like he's gonna try his best to get that damage off, rather than like Nick. No one baits a shot out with a window. Like no one does this. Like if you're over here, like no one's doing this. No one's gonna shoot the wall. So you have to do like these big wide edits like this or like this or this. Like all these have to be done fast and then reset really quickly. So that's that mechanic in general of like you're here, like yeah, you can be here, but like it's just that quick movement, like that quick little that flick of the wall, and then you're up and you're doing your thing. So gotcha. And then yeah, the peak training, I'll show you the map and I'll like let you know how to do it, but it's definitely like by far the number one thing to practice for mechanics. Like everything runs through peak training in this game. So unintentionally, by the way, you just did a 2-wall reset, which is really good. Like this is a bad peak, but 2-wall reset is huge here. Like you can be box fighting somebody here and you're pumping them and then like hit the little 2-wall reset like really quickly, and it's definitely like super handy. Like this is like, not to say this is like the new age of box fighting, but 100% in like 2 years maybe, or maybe sooner, maybe a little longer, it's gonna be the meta. Like everyone's gonna, like you're gonna be box fighting this guy over here who's like, in this box, right? Let's just make this box. And then you're going to be playing from back here and you're going to be like going for damage pumps. And then, you can come up to the wall and be like here, but you can still get a 2 damage or 2 all reset. So like he just can't hit you. Just defaultly just a bad peak, right? Like
Yeah, I tried to go for some sort of like right hand there, but turned out not to be very good.
Your best peak here is going to be like that top 3 peanut butter. Like if you're like this, right? Let me try to set it up. So like you're like this, like, and you want to make this edit, like this is going to get you hit all the time. Like, and even if you back up to here, like this gives the peaker the more advantage. Like you have a pretty bad angle here. Your best peak is like this, like hitting this edit and going like that. And it's a tricky edit because it's like so weirdly angled, but that's why you have that second wall, right? So you're not going to be able to reset that one very fluently. Also, again, if you can't make a good peak, just a general rule of thumb, if you can't make a good peak, you can always make a bait shot. Like that's why like that peak might work. Like you could do this, right? You could do this and then you can do this and then reset and like he'll pump the wall and then you can get some damage back on him, right? Like, or it'll just make him slower. Like it'll have to reload now or whatever. Like, right? So you can make a bad peak, but you have to be like that fast reset it. Here, personally, for me as well, I always like to have cones down because you're never going to want to be in a box fight without cones. Like I know you can definitely get some nice angles and peaks without cones. It's a disadvantage, but it's an advantage. But for me personally, like because I'm not the world's best fighter, I'm always like trying to stay as consistent as I can with my peaks, right? So like this cone gives me the consistent peak that I always want, right? Like if I have this here, like it changes up my timing, my jump timing, my like, you know, it's just everything's a little different and I don't like that. So yeah, that's just peak training, like you knowing that you're peaking right there when you make that edit. Again, like you can make that wide peak, make him shoot the wall first, right? Like reset, like that's a clear wide peak, right? Like just reset the wall or the stair and he'll shoot the stair. Also, like taking a wall from a stair is definitely not a bad idea. Like, and I had a stair in this box. Like I would instead do one of these edits, right? Like mostly you're gonna want to do this one, right? Because you can just like, you can do this and then come here and then you can always have again another double layer. Like imagine you get this wall and you want to do it. Like you could have done the same edit, right? With boom, pump, and then you have that double layer of the reset, right? Like so this is a really like nifty edit that's like very new. Not a lot of people in the game have been put onto this. Like this is probably within the last 2 years, which is just the way Fortnite works.
Right. Usually I just flip it and then do the one. I like that peak a lot, taking walls like that.
Yeah, this is huge. Like this is important to do for these angles, right? Like you can almost always like switch it up like this. And also just for general box fighting, like if someone's in your box right now, this gives you this peak where you can get a pump and reset, right? Like you can land on the wall, pump, reset. But this is like super busted. Like if you can get really good at this, you'll be like someone will be in your box. You don't have to go for these edits anymore. Where like 50-50. Or again, you can go for this one where like you can let him pump the ramp, right? Like he's gonna make that shot. Like, and this also can give you a shot too. Like you can come up here and like, right, you can still take the same shot. It's just a little bit more of a wide peak versus this is like dude, if someone's ever done this to you in a box, I don't know if you've experienced it, but like you can't see them.
Yeah.
Like it's there's zero counter. Like there's nothing you can do other than shoot the ramp before they make the edit. If they're good at that peak, it's over. It's not exactly meta right now. People still make 50-50 edits, but like it is most definitely coming up there.
Okay.
So that's something you could have done here. And then what I always like to do, maybe it's just a me preference. Like when you know he's just spraying like that, like he's not like going like this, right? He's not like he's like spraying like, you know, trying to grab the wall and grab it, right? Like he's just like boom, 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 boom. He's just spraying nonstop. So like what I like to do if there's no cone in the box, I'll just be like here, he'll be spraying. I'll just do this, or I'll just time it. Like I'll time the wall so that way, like if he sprays it, you know, you can like replace the wall like that. Like you put the cone through. Right, so I'll just time it so the cone goes through. Even if he gets the wall, I added my cone, and then I can come here and do this, or I can back out, and then it leaves a piece in his box. He was just spraying. You could have just easily slapped the cone in his box, and it would have given yourself a bit more of like an advantage, right? Like he can't do anything. He's kind of just stuck there. It's like the same situation if he's like this. Like you got him caught like this with the walls down. Like he can't. Even if this is his cone, like it's just down bad.
Gotcha. You think pre-fire is like a bad option there then?
No, I mean, it's still that's definitely one of the best options. Like the worst option would probably be just holding your wall and just watching him spray and just don't go. Like you did fine there.
Oh, I remember I made a really dumb play here.
Yep, that's just a clear over peak, of course.
I didn't think he could see me there, so that's why I made that super wide edit, because I thought I could get an angle on that window. But yeah, I couldn't even see him when he shot me.
Right hand peak is deadly. Yeah. Again, like the pros, if you're good with like, not saying he's a pro, but like the top players, bro, if you're like good with a peak, like these window edits are deadly. Like you literally can't get seen. Like you can pump and cannot be seen. It's insane. No, that's just simply like that's just bad peaks, right? Like knowing, kind of getting caught off guard, right? Like he's running in your box, and you had him like here. Like if he was in your box, like you're defaultly trying to do like that edit, right? Like, but let him in your box, and now you can do that same peak we talked about. Like he's running in your box. This is free. Like you let him in your box, you hold your stair, hold your wall, reset this wall, reset the other wall. Maybe like, you know, give yourself a right hand peek. Let's say he like runs in the box here, and the walls are like this, right? Like let's just say it's like he runs in your box. Like I would just reset, and then I'd come here and give myself a right hand peek, or I'd come to the other side, give myself a right hand peek, like, and then I make the edit. If I wanted to make this edit, I could do it, or I can come here and go for one of these, because he's gonna see this and be like, okay, I gotta go this way because I can, you know, still kill him, right?
Right.
Or he's gonna try to spray down, or do one of the options. But this is the perfect time for this peak, like versus what you did is you just 50-50'd and it was just a 50-50, right? So you just lost. This is also something that's super important to like practice IQ wise and mechanically, is like never ever making an edit where you have like not good space. Like you wouldn't be making this peak right here because this is just not it, or even this peak, like, right? Like if you're, then you have to come back and reset and do all these weird things, or like this, you wouldn't do this. You should never do something like this. Like you should never, or if your cone's edited, right? Like you shouldn't be below your cone like this and making a pickaxe play on the wall trying to grab it. But
Gotcha.
That being said, like you should take advantage of like, okay, knowing that like this stair was on your back right here, you can just grab this wall, right? Piece, boom, come here, and then reset. And now you can go for an edit, because like now you're in position to do it. Like, yeah, you have a stair in your box, but you're in the position to take advantage of the stair in your box. Like you can go for a pump, reset, and then you can go for one of these, reset, like all of those, right? Or you can just, I always like to just, I'll edit it and then I'll just break it and then put a cone, and then I can go for my peak and piece. So there you had a chance to do a lot of things, right? Like just slide the wall behind him and then give yourself some time. Like I would have slid the wall behind him. Boom, the wall here wasn't placed. So I would have given myself time. I would have reset, held it. Like if he's running out there, I'm going to quickly slide it. But if he's not, he's still trying to spray, I'm going to give myself time, reset this. Like a lot of times his bullets will go through and hit the ramp, and then now you have a peak, right? Like always try to like give yourself that consistent peak, like I talked about earlier. Like I don't like to do it like this, right? I'll always have that cone. So if I'm ever fighting somebody on a wall here, like let's say like here, right? I'm on this wall. Like if I'm fighting it and I don't like the way this looks, like I'm gonna come here and do this, and now I have that peak again, right? Like now it's just that simple of like knowing, like you have to be comfortable editing your stair here. Again, like if you're, let's say you're smacking the wall, you don't get it, you need to be able to reset. Now this gives you that angle. Just being, or like let's say, I don't know, you're here and like you're coming around the wall, and there's a stair here, right? Like this is kind of common. You're here. Like you need to be able to quickly hit the edit or hit like some form of like the flip towards them, so that way you can have that peak.
I can tell. Got it.
Also, there's a map that's out there I can show you that you can practice the phase timing. Like you can literally practice doing that and get in every time.
Yeah. I've been working on that, but I'm just not that good at it, so I don't utilize it yet. Yeah, I've been doing it.
That's mechanics 101, right? Like you probably, when you started the game, you probably couldn't do this, right? And then you probably couldn't do the stair phase, and now you can do, like, you know, you just keep adding things to your arsenal, and that's what makes you a really good fighter, right? Because you can do phases on the right timings, and you can do 4 phases where you're coming down and jumping in, like all those things matter to give you that upper hand. When you see he has no piece, if he makes that edit on you, you gotta put a stair in right away. Like I know you did, but I just want to explain that like that is important. I think a big thing that I'm still seeing is like, obviously I'm not like coaching you live, so this makes sense why they're the same mistakes, but a lot of things you're doing still, like you're just pressuring from one angle, like here, right? Like you don't have to be like so focused on just this exact floor and making this edit, like that, like of course that's an overpeak, number one, but like two, like you have this wall to your right and you can edit down, and you can, like, you know what I'm saying, you can edit this down here and come down like this and fight and pressure from here and then pressure from here. Like you got to learn to like hit multiple angles, right? Instead of jumping in here, even if he's 1 HP, like if he hits a good pre-fire or even does some damage, and it wasn't even 1, but if he does some damage, like, okay, so you have any questions?
These are ranked games.
Gotcha.
No, I don't. I mean, bad peaks, pressuring from 2 angles. It's mostly what I got from it. Making sure there's cones or you have like piece control around you.
Yeah, so I would say just from that alone, I would say, yeah, understanding how to pressure from 2 angles, like making sure you're like on top of doing that more often, and just like it's very simple. You're just here and then you're here, and then you're just back, and so it's that. And then Understanding like peaks and mastering like not only the like the stair peaks that I talked about where you can have like the actual crazy advantage, but also just in general peaks, right? Like you need to be here and understanding that this is a bad peak and that this is a better peak, right? Like, and that's just peak practice, and I can give you a map for that and show you it. Like, it's pretty fun once you do it because you see like instant improvement. And then like another big thing was like the edit reset, like just being quicker on this. Like whether that means you have to literally go in creative and just practice this, like this isn't a great way to do it because your peaks aren't doing this, right? Like it's more so like these angles, right? Like setting yourself up to like, you know, basically just practicing like you're doing this and then you're resetting like real quick. I guess some minor things would just like just to keep in mind was like the wall thing, like making sure you're grabbing these pieces back and understanding how deadly they can be. And then I think that's it. Like, I mean, and then, oh yeah, I guess another minor thing would be like when someone's spraying in your box, understanding that they're just spraying and you can grab a piece behind them or cone, right? Like I talked about that a bunch. Like if someone's just spraying into your box, like you can just simply just piece them from behind and they're just dead.